Hi everyone, thank you for watching CCN Crown City News, your neighborhood. I'm Sunita Joshua Madison. Our top story, Pasadena is a city rich in the arts, which was on full display this past weekend during Art Weekend. And there in the heart of the Pasadena Playhouse District is where we learn of the controversial Playhouse Plaza development that gets a new lease on life. After a couple of local preservation groups successfully sued to block the project nearly 2 years ago, the players involved now seem to have worked out their differences. CCN's Lillian Nuno was at the 6th Annual Art Walk this past Saturday, where she explored the artistry and found out the details of the upcoming development.
Nearly 6,000 people turned out for the 6th Annual Pasadena Art Walk this past Saturday. Artists and enthusiasts alike came to the Pasadena Playhouse District to share their love of the arts. In the future, people may come to the Playhouse District for this, other events, and for a possible new reason, the Playhouse Plaza. After months of negotiations, the embattled development may soon be a reality.
The project is definitely moving forward, and depending on how the schedule goes for their entitlements, in 2 to 3 years, we may be seeing a great building here in the district.
In December 2009, a lawsuit was filed against the city by Pasadena Heritage and Pasadenans for a livable city, claiming that the project disregarded the city's planning rules and state environmental laws. In the past few months, Romo says the city, developer, and parties against the project now see eye to eye. The area, which may soon be home to the plaza, brings artists from different walks together to display their creations during Art Walk. Art pieces range from cultural, ceramic, spiritual, to jazz-inspired. Featured artist Susan Silton says this is her first art walk.
It seems to me like there's sort of a vibrant spirit here, and I hope that it continues and grows.
Silton says her art is inspired by the words utility and utilitarianism. Her work can be seen on utility boxes along Colorado Boulevard. They are 5 vinyl wraps of text and image in bright colors that convey her message. Another artist's rendering will appear in the weeks following Art Walk. Erlinda Romo says the Plaza project is headed to the Design Commission soon, and the district will have a preview of the building's design in November.
They have moved on beyond the settlement agreement with the judge, and they're working with the city, and they'll be going to Design Commission soon.
Well, that cut out a little bit early, but as for the Playhouse Plaza, we reached out to Sid Tyler, former city council member and founding member of Pasadena for a Livable City, who said he is glad that all parties are in conceptual agreement with the new development. Tyler tells us the structure is an alternative, smaller design that is environmentally sound. The city and the parties involved are due in court later this month to finalize the details. Well, since 9/11, police departments across the country have been trying to find a balance between acting quickly against those who might be involved in terrorist activity and forging a relationship in law-abiding communities where those threats still might exist. LA County Sheriff Lee Baca, who's under fire now for complaints of police brutality, has recently partnered with a nonprofit organization to shed light on cross-cultural tolerance. CCN's Natalie Tavidian is here live to tell us more. Thanks for being here, Natalie.
Hi, Sunita. Some cross-cultural experts are saying changes need to be made with how Middle Eastern Americans are represented in the media. A cross-cultural diplomacy symposium took place this past Tuesday, October 11. It opened up dialogue about diversity issues and featured a number of panelists along with co-host cross-cultural expert Wafa Kanan, who started the Allocultural Foundation in Northridge, and Sheriff Lee Baca.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, which includes jurisdiction over San Gabriel Valley's unincorporated areas, has partnered with Allocultural Foundation to help design a social plan for tolerance. The group's ultimate goal is to create legislation that brings awareness and multicultural understanding of Middle Eastern Americans.
Misunderstanding of each other will only lead to most viral issues that we deal with every single day.
Sheriff Baca says the U.S. has a history of mistreating minorities and that civil rights acts had to be passed for various American communities. Panelists at the symposium said in order to have public safety, people of all cultures must first feel secure. Sheriff Baca agreed.
Civil rights acts had to be passed. A whole plethora of straightening out the reality of the promise of our Constitution had occurred. Here we are today. It's almost amazing in the 21st century that we are in a very difficult challenge to get all Americans to understand, and politicians to go along with it, that you cannot have a pride unity to the 100% of what it should be that the Founding Fathers intended for all people here. All faiths are constitutionally protected.
Wafa Kanan of the Allo Cultural Foundation says it's crucial to bridge gaps about misconceptions about Muslims and Middle Easterners. Much of the conversation at the event centered around the power of media and their portrayal of different cultures. Several professors said it's important to teach students about cultural awareness from high school to the university level.
Because we already recognize that people in high schools come in with the same questions. A lot of the a lot of the education on these important issues, but also the stereotyping and the diversity or not diversity is happening already like in high school. So when the people come to college, it's also already a selected group of people you get. And people already come in with a very strong stereotypes or come up with very strong feelings and it's very often, unfortunately, very polarized.
Speakers at the symposium discussed some experiences of Middle Eastern Americans in the media, including Miss USA 2010, an Arab American, and Octavia Nasser, a former CNN reporter. Wafa Kanan of the Allo Cultural Foundation says the symposium is a start of a roadmap for heightened Middle Eastern American tolerance. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department also runs a cultural exchange program designed to help department members experience diverse cultures. Sunita.
Well, you know, bringing this up, 24 was one of my favorite shows out there, but I think it was difficult for Middle Eastern families. What other identity issues do they have in the media?
Well, actually, there were some people from the media who worked with 24, on that show to create ways to better represent Middle Eastern Americans. So that's some of the steps that are being taken right now. Another issue that was that the symposium really focused on were the census. If Middle Eastern Americans should have an identity on the census. So that's all something that's still being discussed right now.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Natalie. Now, the ALO Foundation will soon take the discussion on the road. They've been invited to provide a symposium in Maryland as well. For more information on recent events, you can log on to alloculturalfoundation.com or contact the LA County Sheriff. Well, the Occupy Wall Street protesters march into Pasadena, and we'll check in with CCN meteorologist Curtis Peak to let us know what to plan for the week. When we come back, you're watching CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
G morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me back.
You can't figure out Jody's gonna.
Hey, did you tell your parents about us? Let's skip first period together. Did you get all my texts? Is practice over yet? Where are you at? Are you with your friends? That's LAAAAMMEEE. Capital X, lowercase o, capital X, lowercase o. I love you. JK, I hate you. JK. Are you ignoring me? We're in a huge fight right now. Is this something I did? I can see your lights on. I'm coming over. What'd you dream about? Me? I'm lonely. Holla back. Holla back. Let's try something new. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back, and here's a snapshot of some stories this past week right here in the San Gabriel Valley. The growing Occupy Wall Street movement marched into Pasadena, that is, this past week. The original protest began in New York City exactly 1 month ago on September 17th, with about 1,000 people rallying against financial institutions and the richest 1% of the people, who the group says is, quote, writing the rules of global economy and imposing an agenda of neoliberalism and economic inequality, end quote. A couple hundred have been camping overnights in Manhattan Park since the start, and parallel protests erupted around the nation from D.C. to Fairbanks, Alaska, and right here in the L.A. area. This past Wednesday, they came to Pasadena. The protesters say about 140 locals demonstrated at the corner of Lake Avenue and Colorado Boulevard, home to branches of two major banks, Chase and Bank of America. Some have compared the protests to the initial Tea Party rallies, saying fundraising has helped organize the group. Occupy Wall Street organizers say they raised $300,000 nationally through their website. Tea Partiers say a major difference is that their rallies resulted in 0 arrests, while some show nearly 1,500 arrests of Occupy Wall Street protesters and the pepper spraying of some participants. The Pasadena protest was peaceful. The temporary move of Station 39 for retrofitting to a local elementary school could be on shaky ground. The city suggested using a portion of the nearby San Rafael school to house a double-wide trailer for firefighters and a tent or modular building for the equipment for 3 years. The school district and fire department have been in negotiations for months to relocate the station, but growing parent concern may force the idea to go down in flames. If PUSD doesn't agree to house the temporary station, the fire department is prepared to demolish the existing station, but it would still need to find a permanent site. Officials, that is, considered 400 other sites before deciding on San Rafael. They found the other choices unacceptable because of narrow streets, topography, size, or condition of the properties. The fire department had hoped to have a temporary station up by the end of the year, but that's no longer possible given the time it's taking to work out a conditional use permit with the school. Well, they call it an Indian summer, but these warm days seem to be the norm in Southern California. Let's check in with CCN meteorologist Curtis Peak to see if it will continue to stay hot. Hi, Curtis.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing well, staying warm.
Well, I think we're going to stay warm one more day, then we're going to cool off. Good evening, San Gabriel Valley. I trust that everybody's having a great evening, a great afternoon. Let's take a look at our headlines right now. We are going to see that high pressure. It is going to build for one more day, but starting Wednesday, we are going to get a brief cool down, maybe about 4 or 5 degrees, because we are going to have a low that's going to come off the Pacific. It's going to come in. Instead of having that offshore flow, we're going to have that onshore flow. Nature's air conditioner is going to come in for one day, give us a little break right there. But by the weekend, we are going to warm back up because the high pressure is going to return. Our high today was 87 degrees. Our low tonight is going to be 61. As you can see, we're about 8 degrees above where we should be right now. Our record back in 1958 was 101 degrees. As we take a look at what's happening right now outside, 78 degrees. Our winds are out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Our sunrise tomorrow is going to be at 6:59, and our sunset tomorrow afternoon is going to be at 6:16. Our barometric pressure is holding at 29.91. That is the pressure that's being exerted on the earth right now by the atmosphere. As we take a look at our overnight lows right now, 50s across the board. West Covina is coming in at 59 degrees. Arcadia up by the foothills in Monrovia, 55 and 56. Highs for tomorrow, 87 in Pasadena, which is going to be our warm spot. 82 in Monterey Park. Up in Monrovia and Arcadia, once again against those foothills, 86 in Arcadia, 88 in Monrovia. All right, as we take a look at our satellite, this is what's happening right now. We do have these clear skies over Southern California. That's going to give us a nice ridge of high pressure for tomorrow. But look at this. This is that counterclockwise rotation. This is that low that's sitting off the Pacific that's going to come in on Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday. It's going to give us one day of cool down, 4 to 5 degrees. But this low pressure is going to move east, and we are going to see a ridge of high pressure. It's going to be a flat ridge of high pressure, not a big one. It's going to come back in on Thursday, Friday. Temperatures are going to warm back up, back to above normal temperatures. So that's what's happening with our satellite. As we take a look at our 7-day forecast right now, tomorrow is going to be a warm up, 87 degrees. But look, by Wednesday, a little partly cloudy skies. We are going to see that low that is going to come in on Wednesday is going to begin to build that ridge for high pressure flat, 84 Thursday, 84 Friday. Look, by the weekend, 85, 87 on Sunday. Monday, we are back to that Indian summer once again. Things are warming back up. Little weird weather we're having right now, but you know what? We're in Southern California. We are in the desert. As we take a look at our lows across the board, we have 60s across the board, 58 on Wednesday night. But Sanita, you know what? I'm going to enjoy the weather tomorrow. And I'm going to enjoy the weather Wednesday because that's going to be a little mixture of a high and a low. So there we are.
I still love it when you tell me it's going to get low, and I'm expecting it's going to get to 40s and it's 84.
No, we're not going to get that until probably November, December. So we're going to get it. So hang in there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks, Curtis.
You're welcome.
Well, the LA Cancer Challenge is ready to pound the pavement to raise money for pancreatic cancer. We'll tell you more when we have Philip Kim in studio. That's next on CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. We'll be right back.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do. How do you convince a 14-year-old girl that hair doesn't matter? When the diagnosis is childhood cancer, CureSearch.org can help. You're not as alone as you feel. How do you convince a 14-year-old girl that hair doesn't matter? When the diagnosis is childhood cancer, CureSearch.org can help. You're not as alone as you feel.
There's one! Come here, you!
Is it mice?
Nope.
Rats?
Nope.
Hogs?
That's right, miss.
Hogs?
Energy hogs. If you're wasting energy, you'll find one in your home.
Got energy hogs in your house? Now you have the power to do something about them. Log on to energyhog.org.
Hey, let me go! Get your dreams, Sporty.
Because nobody likes an energy hog.
Well, as we all know, Steve Jobs recently lost his battle with pancreatic cancer, which is the third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in women and fourth for men. The American Cancer Institute reports that more than 44,000 Americans will be diagnosed with the disease and nearly 38,000 will die from it. Organizers at the LA Cancer Challenge are racing to bring those numbers down. Philip Kim with the LA Cancer Challenge is here to tell us about their event on October 30th. Thanks for being here, Philip.
Thanks, Anita. It's so great to be back again.
Nice to have you back. Now, I know we've asked you this in the past, but why pancreatic cancer over the other cancers?
Yeah, unfortunately, pancreatic cancer is actually the most deadly of all cancers. There is an 84% fatality rate. So it just recently passed prostate cancer as the fourth deadliest cancer. So it is something that there hasn't been very much growth or the people haven't had any developments within the last 40 years. So only 13 years ago, the first Pancreatic Cancer Foundation was started, and we really need help to create an early detection system for people so that we can treat them earlier and improve the survival rate.
Now, you know, the nation and the world really mourned Steve Jobs' death recently the disease. But how do you think, you know, his life can go on, you know, beyond his products, but also bringing attention to this disease?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, everyone that I've talked to this year after his death was so aware of what pancreatic cancer is, and just that awareness hopefully will create a much bigger swell for support and people to understand how important this is. And we've lost so many people: Patrick Swayze, Luciano Pavarotti, and of course Steve Jobs, who is, you know, one of my favorite figures of all time. He was just amazing. And I feel so sad about what we would have lost if he would have invented for the next 10 years. You know, we lost so much, and pancreatic cancer was the reason for that.
Absolutely. I mean, 54, I mean, he's just a kid, basically, you know?
Yes,
I mean,
just getting
so much
started.
wisdom that he would have gained, you know, bringing forth. So, and that's so many of you know, the people who probably have fallen to this disease. Why has this survival rate, you know, not improved as you talked about in the last 40 years? I'd read 94% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years of diagnosis, and 74% die within the first year of diagnosis.
Yeah, usually
that's
within
extreme.
6 months.
Wow.
It really is. And
That's
a lot of it is because there is no early detection system. You have to have an MRI or a CAT scan in order to be diagnosed properly. And, you know, unfortunately, guys, It affects males the most, and we take better care of our cars than our bodies, and we just do such a poor job of getting to the doctor when we feel specific pains in regards to this. And so by the time that people go to the doctor and get an MRI and they're fighting their HMO to get approval.
Well, I mean, are there things that you can do to prevent it, or is it just about, when you feel something, don't let it go, don't be, man up about it, you go see a doctor?
I think the most important thing is to understand your genetic connection to it. So if you have ever had pancreatic cancer within your family, it's very important to get scanned every year if at all possible, and really push for that, because I think that's going to help as far as early detection system. Cancer is cancer. We don't know why it is there. Diet, genetics, there's so many reasons that need to be looked at, but specifically we know that if you have diabetes, you have a 30% higher chance of having pancreatic cancer, and specifically if you have genetic history, you really need to check yourself out.
Now, do you know, I mean, obviously, there's 94%, 74%, those are high numbers, but do you know people who have survived, and for how long?
Yes, actually last year we were so excited at the LA Cancer Challenge. We actually had 3 survivors that were there, which was the first for us. It was amazing. And unfortunately, it is usually, 1 to 3 years time span. And these are all just numbers, but, when you look at Steve Jobs, there are so many people that are so much more important to them. Their family members are dying of pancreatic cancer. And so for them, they feel like this is so important to them. And that's why over 5,000 people come out and run and walk for this event. It's the largest run and walk for pancreatic cancer in the United States.
Well, it sounds like, it's a great event, and you're doing, just an incredible job with it. We'll have the is there a website people can go to get more information?
LAcancerchallenge.com. Please go there now and register for our event. It's an awesome event.
Okay, and that's Sunday, October 30th at the Veterans Administration Grounds.
In West LA, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Sunita.
Thank you for being here. I
Always
wish there
great.
wasn't a reason for you to be here, but we appreciate you spreading
I
the word.
hope to work myself out of a job by curing it. That would be amazing.
We'll help you with that. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you so much.
Well, the WNBA star comes home to Pasadena to promote her new program. Coming up in CCN Sports, you're watching CCN Crown City News. Your news, your neighborhood. Don't go away.
At home but can't afford it? You can get it for free from the Convalescent Aid Society. That's right, for free. CAS loans wheelchairs, walkers, benches, hospital beds, and much more for free to anyone in San Gabriel Valley. Call us at 626-793-1696. That's 626-793-1696. Or visit our website at cas1.org. Why pay for medical equipment when CAS can loan it to you for free?
Jonesy kitty, Jonesy kitty, Jonesy cat. She is my kitty. She is my squiddy. She is my Jonesy. She is my Jonesy cat. She is my cat.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
CCN Sports reporter Hyra Romero is here with her Athlete of the Week. Who do you have for us, Hyra? And that's Hyra, not Jaira, as I said last week.
That's it. Thanks, Anita. Our CCN Athlete of the Week is superstar WNBA player Candace Wiggins of the Minnesota Lynx. Candace is headed home to Pasadena, where many of her family members still live, in about a week and a half. She's promoting her 2-day basketball camp called ICE, which she created to inspire and instill confidence in the younger generation. She says her goal is to help young people achieve their athletic and educational goals. During the camp, she plans to share her story about reaching the highest peak in her professional career. She describes her 2011 WNBA championship victory with the Lynx and successful college basketball experience at Stanford University, where she also earned a bachelor's degree. Along with teaching campers the fundamentals, she'll also talk about overcoming obstacles, including injuries. Check her out.
You tell yourself that every day, man, they better watch out for you when you come back, When you come back from an injury, they're going to watch out for you because you're going to be hungrier. Go into something scared out of your mind, like the NCAA tournament, and be able to relax enough to score like 40 points or something. That's what was like a final exam for me and my mental toughness. So I figured instead of having one camp where everyone has to come to me, I'll just go to everybody, you know. I'll go to your city, and you know, you come and learn something from someone who has a lot to say and offer, and we're gonna play basketball.
Candace kicks off the ICE Academy here in Pasadena at PCC October 29th and 30th. For more information about the All-Star athlete, you can check her Facebook fan page and Twitter account at Candace Wiggins. Aside from basketball and academics, her Twitter bio describes her as Miss San Diego, pretty, witty, girly, worldly, one who likes to party but come home early. Sunita?
Well, I wish we could all put that on our website, right? Well, that's great. Thanks for that report, Hira. You can also visit Candace's website at cwigginsworld.com for more of our Athlete of the Week, WNBA star Candace Wiggins. Well, that's it for this newscast. Thanks to Philip Kim from LA Cancer Challenge for joining us in studio. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Southern California Edison, Wink Marketing, and the Pasadena Enterprise Center office building with available office space. Thanks also to the CCN crew. The show would not be possible without you. But finally, we thank you for watching CCN Crown City News. Join us each week as we cover the news in Pasadena and the San Gabriel Valley. For all of us here at CCN, I'm Sunita Joshua Madison. Have a great week.